Sometimes art is prophetic, and sometimes I don't know how to offset it. The words too authentic to constantly do what I do and augment it. Y'all talk a big game, can't tell if y'all meant it. If seconds turns to minutes, the ticking will tell all. Will you hold firm or steadily fall? Will you conform with the ways of the world, or will you give the world everything that you are? Make them fuckers move around you, kinda like sound do. Break out of everything that they had you bound to. You got knocked down, ho, get ready for round two. It's round two. Get ready for round two. Come back, run rap, run laps around these cats, jump back, kiss myself, still keeping me intact. Weird and black, they for that, hold up, steer it back. Weird and black, they revere that, yup, you hear that?
Turnstile, switch it up. Young nigga raised hard, he learned not to give a fuck. Young nigga came far, still never give enough. Coming with the flavor, delicious, so she lick it up. Bust down, stick it up, I put it down, so pick it up. Scud town, saviors, done some till he shift to musk. Stench so stank that the shit compare soft to us. Crud so dank, make your face smudge dripping, cuz club go shake when the bass gets to hitting ya. They ain't really hearing us, but they gon' feel something when the way is paved clear enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate is God real or not. Well, fuck it, got the world in my hands, and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands, gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Yeah, give it all to us.
Yeah, this that hip-hop body rock, hardcore karate chop, neo-Nazi nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame. He's an automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go, plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid the people gotta feel it like the Carr. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play. No, I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your jugular when I'm on stage. Until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it, how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. My crew's the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of roses I make bumping in your system. I mean, banging it, and I'm still hanging in it. I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms, I got a lot of soul. I found the pot of gold, I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free. I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample from me, so get up.
Let that retard come back.
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water. 2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest fucking Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Excuse that little slip up there in the intro, but we're back. If you know our show, you know that's how we roll. This is After Further Review, episode 125. I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I'm your other wonderful, and I love Jews. I'm sorry for last week, Shaquille Brown.
Wow, Kyrie. Well, somebody is still wearing the Yeezys, so I don't know if that's true. But I am another wonderful co-host, Malin. I love you, Jalen. You're a good man. I don't care what the Jews say about you. How you doing, Nestor?
I'm doing good. All the way from Colombia.
Still,
Excited to show.
this man over here
Yep.
talking about
Yep.
wooden closets.
We're not even gonna go. No, there's a whole series of jokes for that, but we're gonna let it be.
20-minute tangent on Colombian closets.
All right, R. Kelly. Let's move on with the. Well,
It's called a man R. Kelly.
I have the ride or die records of prematurely here. Let me go get that down. That's not important right now. All right. Yeah, if you guys don't know, this is a show where we talk about sports. Not sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we bring in a lot, we drag in a whole lot of other baggage, but sometimes this is what we talk about, and we always open up the show ceremoniously with a nice shot of alcohol. So, gentlemen,
Water.
Nestor, yeah, funny water,
I don't trust myself.
Apple juice.
apple juice.
Are you still drinking the Doers?
Yeah.
This man is no fun.
We must have an endless supply of that.
I have tequila, but
On tap.
I'm not doing that.
We're doing tequila. You could join us.
Yeah, we just did the Don Julio.
I have Yeah, but now I already took the whiskey shot.
All right.
You can take another one.
We got nowhere to be. Exactly. You can have your head in the toilet tonight.
Like the bed's right next to me.
Exactly. You can go crawl in whatever corner you're allowed to sleep in. So
You
it's
stay away from it.
like he's a German chef.
Jesus Lord.
Like I said, we do talk about the NBA and the NFL eventually. If you're not aware, you can just listen to the show if you click the first link down in your YouTube description. But vice versa, you can just watch the show if you click the first link in your podcast description. That'll take you to the YouTube version of this episode. We live stream every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you can come watch the show live, weigh in the chat, give us your opinion, and not just have to wait for the comment section afterwards. So there you go. But with that being said, let's hop right into the first topic of the week, which is the NBA MVP race. So as we are into March now, things are starting to kind of solidify where some playoff teams will be and where some pretty big NBA MVP contenders will land. So I want to hear from you guys. Who is your MVP as of right now, where things currently stand? Shaq, I want to start with you first.
Sorry. Wrong.
So despite Joel Embiid, I'm gonna say front and center. Okay, on this. Let's lie. Anyway, Joel Embiid. I believe this man deserves this MVP. This man's been carrying this team for a while. They finally got him some help, but still, this man is.
I mean, really?
I mean,
A little bit.
2% better since. Some guys say a bit better than that. All right.
10% thinner, 2% better.
But they've been robbing this man, making the Joker win this thing 2 times in a row. Give this man his MVP. He deserves it. This team is nothing without this man in a whole. So, just my 2 cents on the situation.
Go ahead, Malin. Speak your heart.
I mean, do you really want me to? Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's what happens. The screen just goes away.
The
The screen knows what you're about to do.
camera is not.
This is
even-
just my solo cam. You want to tilt the camera, Shaq, or
Good
just turn
Lord.
it towards on both.
This
Now we're starting
this is
this
professional.
show.
This is great. So I would agree that right now I would think that Embiid is the MVP because I think he's doing more with less. That's right. I'm saying more with less because Harden is still the Harden that played with Brooklyn, not the Harden that played in Houston.
Yeah.
He still comes up small, even though he's big. I'm really upset about this whole notion, though, that the Joker is going to win it for the 3rd year in a row. Because now we're in a situation to where he won it 2 times where he arguably shouldn't have won it. And now we're stuck in a situation where statistically he probably should win it, but now we shouldn't give it to him because that's a prestigious thing. I mean, Kobe won 1 MVP. And, you know, LeBron James never won 3 straight.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're like, oh, well, you know, it's, let's go ahead and give it to somebody else. Same with Michael Jordan.
Yep.
They're like, well, you know, Jordan won it 2 times. Let's go ahead and give it to Barkley. Well, Jordan won it 2 times. Let's go ahead and give it to Karl Malone because his daughter's 6 years old at this point and needs some money. So I just
Could help herself.
I couldn't. I'm sorry. The
2 weeks in a
man
row.
the man was in college sleeping with a 13-year-old. That's just insane.
Sagittarius.
It was more than statutory. It's disgusting.
Allegedly.
So I don't know. I don't think when you look back on it and you're like someone like the Joker, does he deserve to be in the realm of the people that have gone 3 straight? It's kind of like, you know, when like Nash was winning those MVPs, you're like, well, damn, now we don't want to give it to him the year he might actually deserve it because we just kind of defaulted giving it to him before. I mean, the fact that Steve Nash has more MVPs than Kobe Bryant should disqualify all of the voters.
That shows you the politics in the voting.
It's ridiculous. So the Joker's probably going to win 3 straight. A little rashy ass. That's fine. But he shouldn't.
Can the man dunk? Can the man finally dunk, or is it still up for debate? That
No, I don't know. He when
just
like
saying.
Too much
when-
effort.
exactly. I'm saying a man's going to win the MVP.
he's
can't dunk.
going to win the MVP because he's big and he's tall. I saw a move that he did with a layup in last night's game, and it was one of the most unathletic things I've seen in NBA basketball in a long time. And I was like, if I was his size, I could have done whatever it is that he just did. Like he did a layup, and I think his toes went 2 inches off the ground, and it looked really awkward and disorganized. And that's what white people do when we're playing basketball. It looks disorganized. And so, yeah, I'm just like, but this guy is going to win it 3 years in a row? Really?
Nestor, who's your vote?
Yeah, I think Embiid does more for Philly than the Joker does for Denver. Embiid, I think, is underrated when it comes to how good he is in defense. I think throughout the regular season, he was hovering in like first place, and now he's like fifth place in like defensive ratings. So that's really important in basketball. This is in the NFL. Like that's to be to have good defense, especially on a team like Philly. Like that's very crucial. So I think Embiid is my guy for MVP, but I know Joker's gonna get it. Joker I know he has more assists and stuff like he's better from the 3-point range, but I think Embiid is just way more crucial for Philly. And the times that you've seen Embiid versus Joker, Embiid has done better than the Joker.
Damn right.
So
Right.
yeah.
That's the only reason that I'm also leaning towards Embiid. It's just because when they have come up head to head, at least this year, Embiid has had the upper hand. I think they are equally as valuable to their team. Like if you took away either one of them, those teams are not going anywhere. Yes, the Joker is more efficient. Like he has a higher efficiency rating. It's the highest in the NBA. But you guys all think that the Joker will actually win the MVP.
Unfortunately, yes. I just think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Okay. I mean, he just became the sixth person in NBA history to have 100 triple doubles or something like that.
Yes.
Like he's like the sixth in NBA history, but it's all just stat padding. Like nothing
it's
is
the Westbrook effect.
100% the Westbrook effect. Like the rashy ass is over there in Denver, ain't nobody playing with him.
Right.
It's the Joker show or nothing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, when you just watch him play, though, I'm like, is there a less athletic looking person playing in the NBA? He looks like Tyson Fury out there playing basketball. It's ridiculous, but Tyson Fury knocks people out, and you're like, how are you doing this? Yeah. But he does it with his little gypsy ass. So, yeah, I don't know. Just it's insane.
That episode.
I don't know. It's like, do I think the NBA is actually going to change their politics now? Be like, all right, we'll finally give it to somebody 3 times in a row. Wouldn't do it for LeBron. I'm pretty sure he was the last person who was, or actually no, Giannis I think was the last person.
Didn't do it with Giannis, didn't do it with LeBron, didn't do it with Jordan. Goddamn, Kobe Bryant can get more than one.
Yeah. But now it's like, all right, we'll give it to Jokic. I don't know. I still kind of think that they'll end up for that main reason, like, can we do this now with him? Because in the past we haven't done that.
But wouldn't Embiid have to do something insane?
Yeah, he would need to make a splash of some kind.
Yeah,
where he was like averaging 35 a night from here on out.
Because we all agree it's either Embiid or the Joker. Even though we're not, I don't think we're giving Giannis enough credit. I think Giannis deserves to be right there in there with him. Even though I would still give the nod to Embiid a little bit. I could argue that Giannis deserves it.
The only reason I wouldn't say Giannis over both of them is because when he's not there, Milwaukee can still actually play really well without him.
Much more solid team.
Other than him. They're more solidly constructed though.
Right, they're not. So
Denver and how is Denver number 1 in the West? Are they still number 1 in the West?
Yeah, they are.
How?
By far.
Is that happening?
Right. I don't know.
West is so toxic.
That just goes to show the state of the West, or it's just a circus.
God, it's like bad reality TV.
Yeah.
It's just all these teams that should be good aren't, and then you got Rashy ass just putting up triple doubles all the time, and he's gonna get the MVP.
He is.
I told you guys, the NBA is like boring to watch this year, and I might consider start watching tennis because of how boring this is.
I mean, okay, first of all, you can't even get tennis in Columbia. Shut up.
Not even disrespectful.
And if I was a Miami Heat fan, I would be bored with the NBA too. But right now, the Celtics are winning 104 to 88 right now. We're taking care of business.
The Heat are losing to the Sixers 108 to 90 right now.
Damn.
And remember I said that
first place in the East. By the way,
Nestor. The same team that beat y'all without their best player last weekend. So that's where we stand right now.
Boom. What you need to do, Nestor, is learn like me and just let the situation fly by because I'm aware of a predicament. I ain't going to try to defend K.
Giannis did not play. He went out in the first quarter with whatever injury he had. They beat the brakes off of y'all.
Yeah, more than brakes. I cut the brake line. They were riding in a car down Shaq's head with no brakes. That's how bad it was.
I hate that this
straight off a cliff.
I hate that this is gonna be the hardest laugh I can get out of the show.
No, I got more coming.
And
Don't
this
worry
is
about
why I make out of pocket jokes. 'Cause I gotta beat that. I gotta get a laugh somewhere else.
it. Well, leave Anne Frank alone. That was
that's
that was
all right.
a brave young girl.
G Money in the chat. He's saying I would find it extremely hard that they would give the Joker a third MVP in a row. The last person to win MVP 3 times was Larry Bird.
Yeah.
I think Embiid gets it this year. It's happening because the other teams in the West just aren't as good as everyone thought they would be.
I mean, ain't that some shit that the last time there was a three-peat was a white guy?
This is Larry Bird.
And it's going to be another. I mean, can we really call him white, though? He's always red. He's always got that skin thing going on. I don't know.
This is a Croatian thing. I don't know.
Is it?
Or is he Serbian? I think he's Serbian. Luke is Croatian.
Not American. I don't care. Let's continue.
Let's move on. Let's get into the news.
Today's top stories and breaking news.
Breaking news that happened this morning with Jalen Carter. Is it the Georgia player?
Yes, Jalen Carter. Wow, he's got the same name as you. Hopefully,
The Jalens do not associate with
Dang.
this bad behavior.
Oh, you're not going 105 miles an hour. And end up getting
I can't say I
killed?
am.
Okay.
Can't say that.
I mean, you're driving a Hyundai, so
I don't think my car can even hit
that's
that.
true.
But
I mean, it might be your car could hit something going 105, but I don't think you can get to 105.
no. I'll say this on the whole situation. I think that when you see somebody in this situation, I mean, obviously it's easy to judge somebody else. But when you see somebody who is just several weeks away from being put into a position where they will have probably generational wealth and change their life and everybody else's life around them, when people make these just stupid mistakes, I mean, this is not a mistake, but stupid decisions to just go out and mess around, play around, it's just like what you would do to be in their position is just unreal. And it's like, bro, all you got to do for the next, what are we, 2 months out from, not even 2 months out from the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Just chill.
Oh, he didn't even make it a week after winning the national championship.
Right. And it's like, bro.
Or he was driving on the wrong way.
Right.
On a
just
highway.
chill out at home.
105 miles.
Watch some Netflix. Go see your girls. Go out with your boys. Like,
Well, he
but
went out with his boys.
but
That's
come back
fine.
at a reasonable time and don't do anything stupid while you're out. Like, if you can't control yourself, stay home. Don't go anywhere.
Maybe don't lie to the police.
Don't do
3
that
times.
either. Right.
Because he originally he left the scene of the crime and came back an hour later and told the police that he was in a complex like a mile away and heard the crash, so he drove out. And I was like, wait,
He's
what?
got supersonic hearing.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Okay.
North.
And so then the police are looking at him like, okay, so you weren't here. He's like, no, I wasn't there. And then they start looking at surveillance footage from different businesses that have cameras going into the streets. And they could see this race happening. And he lied to him a second time. He was like, no, I wasn't there. And then it was a third time that he was like, okay, yeah. So he not only was racing at 105 miles an hour, accident happens. His friend, teammate, athletic trainer, 2 other people in the car, leaves the scene of the crime and come back an hour later. What kind of what kind of bad decision making do you have to have in your mind?
This is all very strange
This
behavior.
is somebody that G Money and I have even talked about. Man, if he's there at number 5, we would love the Seahawks to take him. But then I'm reminded of Malik McDowell that we drafted in the second round out of Michigan State that was having off the field issues and then ended up wrapping his body around a tree because he flung himself off an ATV in the offseason of his rookie year and never played a down for the Seahawks. So I'm like, maybe not. But then, hey, Frank Clark worked out. That man only beat up his girlfriend in a hotel room. We drafted him out of Michigan, and he's won 2 Super Bowls with Kansas City. So maybe it's half a dozen, one another, flip a coin, whether or not it work out. But he's obviously the most talented person in the draft. The most talented.
Right. Yeah.
There are some questions about whether or not he has the motor to give his all on every play. There has been talk that he kind of will take plays off when he shouldn't. But it's just this situation. And you gotta, man, Georgia, the day that he's 2 hours before he's supposed to get in front of a camera and talk to reporters, we got warrant out for his arrest. I'm like, okay, y'all did that on purpose.
Right. The time
you guys had months.
More perfect.
Yeah, you had months. It didn't take you 3 months to figure out what was going on.
When I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this happened last night. And then it came out that this was
it's January 15th.
Time ago. I'm like,
the week after they won the national championship. The other thing that's stupid about it is that he was already meeting with teams.
Yeah.
He had already met with the Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina Panthers came out and said that they didn't know anything about this, that he was involved. So he was doing interviews with teams and not even telling them what was happening. So I don't know what's going to happen with his draft status. But he's good enough.
Weird.
But he's good enough to get through it, though.
That somebody will just pull the trigger and be like,
I mean, hell, Big Ben.
All right, let's not just mention my.
I'm not just mentioning him. Okay, listen, Carr Malone could impregnate a 13-year-old and he was fine.
Aaron
Hernandez. But you can't talk about Kobe Bryant without people wanting to shoot you in the face. But did he not have an issue in Utah?
Did have the thing, yeah.
But they excuse it, right?
Right.
You have all these people. Michael Vick had a reclamation project.
Yeah.
If you're good enough and you're talented enough, you can survive things like this. But it's going to cost him some money. But it might end up putting him in a better situation playing for a better team.
True.
So I don't know, but wild.
Yeah. Jack, Nestor, thoughts on this?
I just want to say that I hope it affects him negatively in his draft. Gets drafted later, costs him a little bit of
he ain't
money.
going to steal this. Shut up.
I'm not saying I want him to steal. Trust me.
I hope he just falls to mid first round.
Him and AJ Watt.
I hope that just same way you hope he doesn't end up on a Seattle. I hope he doesn't end up in my team.
I didn't say I didn't want him on Seattle.
No.
Actually, I kind of hope we do draft him.
I'm just saying, but damn well there's gonna be drama once he gets all this money and all this other shit going on. Because
I think this will just be whatever.
I'm just saying it's the aspect of will this man learn from the situation, or is it kind of like could be a slap on the wrist? And
people have done a lot worse, and we don't even talk about him now. I mean,
he hasn't been charged with anything,
right?
Well, he's been charged with reckless driving and endangering some, but they're both misdemeanors.
Nestor,
it's not like Ray Lewis.
I don't know, man. I mean.
Why are you laughing?
The fact that he could get away with this and just play and everything that would be dandy.
Okay, but when we say get away with it, though, have none of y'all ever put the accelerator down and driven fast in your car?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Right.
So
yeah, but I never killed 2 people.
Did he kill 2 people?
Hold on a second.
He didn't hit anybody. That dumbass in the car lost control of the vehicle.
The
not
loser.
him.
That was the one.
Well, yeah. If you put it that way, that sounds a little bit worse.
Gaslight the situation.
But he didn't hit anybody. But we've all made these types. We've all made these types of decisions where we do something that we shouldn't, and we know we shouldn't. I mean, damn, with my Challenger outside. Yes, I have gone a lot faster than I ever should. But, some people make those decisions and nothing happens. Some people make those decisions, bad things happen. But we all make those types of decisions.
Right. I'm just saying we're all not in a position where in a month or so you got a huge career change coming up.
No, he's going to be fine.
I'm just saying.
They got.
Could you imagine if
yeah.
he was the one in the other car?
Well,
who
they
ended up killing someone.
and they got 2 months to figure this out.
Right.
Like it's not like this news is dropping the week of the draft.
Right. Like
there was somebody that
was it
happened
several weeks ago. The day of the draft.
The day of
with
the
that
draft,
video
something
leak
came out
of
and
him smoking.
Oh, that was Tunsil.
Tunsil.
But there was somebody else that was accused of some sort of battery that came out.
Yeah.
And I think the Cowboys ended up drafting him.
Right.
I can't remember his name, but he fell so far in the draft because teams didn't have the time to figure out what was true and what was false. Teams have 2 months to figure out, and teams will do the due diligence. They're billion-dollar corporations. They're going to figure out what's true, what's not. Simple fact of the matter is he's the most talented person in this draft. He's going to go in the top 5. I don't think that's in jeopardy.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, let's move into, some NBA news. So LeBron will miss several weeks with some sort of foot injury. This has been clearly kind of nagging him for the last few weeks. But I guess he really messed it up on that Sunday afternoon game against Dallas. And so now he's out for a little while. I guess my question to you guys is, will the Lakers be able to make the playoffs without him?
Well, considering that Anthony Davis is not playing tonight because he's hurt, which is right on cue.
Right on cue, exactly.
Like what?
Get the words.
What other superstar in the NBA gets this kind of pass than Anthony Davis? Like he never gets any pressure for not showing up.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's out tonight.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like just yesterday, you're like, nah, man, we're gonna pull through. We're gonna do this, and we don't want LeBron James to come back too early. We'll carry it and all that. And then like, you know what? On second thought, I like this whole rest thing that LeBron James is doing. So Anthony Davis isn't even playing.
Unbelievable.
D'Angelo Russell isn't playing either.
Jesus.
Isn't he hurt still?
I think so.
Yeah, he's hurt too.
They are up right now on the Thunder by 7
How are
points.
they winning?
And who's not up on the Thunder?
There's still 9 minutes left, and they don't have their best player. So, I have a couple things to say on this, but Shaq, Nestor.
Yeah, I was just about to say right when he got injured that I don't trust Anthony Davis to do anything, and then right on cue, he gets injured. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna make the play-in. Even if they did, it would be a total disaster, much like the rest of the West. So great to watch at least.
I completely agree. Before, their chances were kind of like slim to none. Now their chances are in the negative. So
the crazy thing is that they won like 3 straight right after getting rid of Westbrook, which is hilarious when we talk about the Clippers. Which are we talking about the Clippers?
I could have sworn they're
Are they in there?
They're in a ride or die.
Okay, yeah, we gotta talk about the Clippers. That's some funny shit. Westbrook just doing Westbrook shit.
Cancer the NBA.
But they get rid of Beverly, they get rid of Westbrook. They win 3 in a row, and we were looking at we are going to have to talk about the Lakers every single week. And then all of a sudden, LeBron James gets hurt. And then the moment LeBron James gets hurt, like Anthony Davis, like, you know what, this ground's too heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and have to call an injury too. D'Angelo Russell, it's all on you, buddy. Even though we traded you away to get me. Oh wait, you're hurt too. Okay, I don't know who's left after that. But
yeah,
it's a shit show.
It is an absolute shit show. This was so expected though. Once LeBron came out and said, around the All-Star break, we just have to really lock in. I don't want to miss the postseason. Whatever it was, 2 years in a row.
Oh, and he said this was the most important regular season stretch of his career.
Yeah.
And he lasted 3 games.
right then and there, I'm like,
damn.
The writing's on the wall. Come on.
But he'd already been dealing with the foot injury.
Right,
so
exactly.
why did he put the type of pressure on himself?
I don't know why he said that, knowing that he was already kind of hurt. Also knowing that his co-star is Anthony Davis and the history that he has.
But that's why they brought Anthony Davis in, was because the thought process was that LeBron James was hurt the year before.
Right. He's getting older.
Load management. Yeah. He's getting older, so Anthony Davis needs to come in and take the load and carry the team.
Yeah.
But then Unibrow's the one spraying in his eye socket and not playing. Like, I don't...
Too much reading at night.
I mean,
something strikes me that much.
They were last night against Memphis. Oh my goodness.
They were competitive for like the
first half. They were. Second half, they gave John Morant scored 28 points in the third quarter alone.
Oh, wait, can we? Okay, get through this, and I got something else I got to bring up about Memphis.
Okay.
So get through this because it just came out today.
Oh, okay.
Like about 3 hours ago. So
John Morant just goes off. I don't know. Listen, Darvin Ham, I'm not trying to comment on his coaching, but you got to change up some kind of defense.
Yeah, they kept trying to push the ball and turnover.
Right.
Push the ball and turnover. Push the ball and turnover. It went from 2 points to 11.
Right. So
and you're like, Ham, it's a square hole. Why are you trying to put a round peg to it?
Exactly. You might want to change something up here, but they just kept saying, no, we're good. They gave up 89 points in the paint. 89 points in the paint.
With the windshield wiper out there.
You would think AD wasn't playing last night, too. But he was out there.
Yeah.
And they gave up damn near 100 points
Michelin.
in the paint. Which has got to be close to some kind of record.
Nothing.
But that's embarrassing. But what's the news you have on Memphis?
Okay, so there is news that has come out that John Morant is being investigated by the police right now. That he allegedly beat up a 17-year-old kid last summer and threatened to kill him with a gun.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is broke about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I was watching ESPN and I saw it. And then something else happened to where he tried to cover something up or make another threat later. But apparently last summer, John Morant wasn't happy with the younglings and decided that he needed to beat the hell out of somebody. Of course, you need to have, like, justice system do its thing, but
right.
Damn.
The word allegedly gets thrown around a lot with these people.
It does. Allegedly.
This show loves alleged.
There's a lot of alleged.
I just hope it is alleged. That's all I hope that just never occurred, and that's just all hearsay.
The NBA cannot afford to have one of its brightest young stars get embroiled in something like that. But you know what? Kobe was doing one time, and he got through it.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
Kobe was also trying to was also getting rings or more capable. So
he did it. But,
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't remember anything happening with Kobe. So
yeah, this is the type of person. This is the type of person that you can't talk to when it comes to sports.
Hernandez bodied 2 people, went out and continued to play a whole season of football.
Let's not mention Aaron Hernandez again this week. No reason to do that, man. He's not even on this earth anymore.
By his own doing.
Took his body, shipped it out to space. Not there no more.
Man, decided to play hangman in his own little.
Okay. Jesus God.
Did he win?
Clearly not. Couldn't get that word right. The word freedom.
LaMelo Ball. Jesus. He's out for the rest of the season after he messed up his ankle against the Pistons. Well, Hornet fans, you have no reason to watch your team anymore because
Did it have one to begin with?
They had some reason. LaMelo's he's entertaining to watch, but
This show's entertaining to watch.
and y'all shouldn't be watching this in the first place. So there you go. I will say it is kind of ironic that just last week we talked about his brother being out for the rest of the year, and now here we are a week later, and both the Ball brothers are done.
I wonder what LeVar's singing right now. That's who I want to hear from. I want to hear from Big Baller Brand.
He ain't saying shit right now.
Both of them sitting at home, so they got plenty of time to say a lot of words.
Yeah, LeVar Ball is in like he's in Nestor's wooden closet. Apparently, wooden closets are a big thing in Colombia. Something special.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but they're wooden. I don't know why that's different, but yeah, no, it sucks for LaMelo because he actually has the talent.
He can ball.
Like Lonzo Ball was a little bit of the product of the Big Baller Brand, and LeVar like mouthing off stuff like that. His brother was just kind of fat, never gonna do anything. But then LaMelo was always the youngin that was gonna,
Right.
and he had to take a different route because his father was insane.
Right. He played overseas.
Yeah, like he couldn't just go to UCLA. Like what the God. So, but for him to do that, to have a crazy ass dad, all that pressure to come in, and he's been really good to have this type of issue. And some people come back from these, but some people don't. You know, like Michael Jordan came back from it. Derrick Rose did not. There's people that have knee injuries, and they're fine. And there's people that have knee injuries and they're never the same. So I'm kind of hoping that he comes back better and not worse. And this doesn't end up being like a degenerative thing that like what his brother's going through right now.
Right.
Because we need stars like him in smaller markets.
Yes, absolutely.
100% we do.
Yeah, because I mean, imagine young Giannis going down to an injury in Milwaukee early on, and he's not able to recover from that. Nobody's watching the Bucks. There's absolutely no reason to watch them.
His brothers wouldn't even be in the NBA.
Right, exactly.
They'd be homeless.
Any thoughts on
I don't know about homeless, but I mean, like y'all said, hopefully a young talent comes through, recovers just fine. Because we would hate to be talking about the what ifs a couple years down the line. It's like, what if this man didn't hurt his knee? What would he have done with his career? And his
By the way, his brother was the one with the knee. He's the ankle.
Oh, he hurt his ankle? What did he do with his ankle?
Fractured it.
Oh, okay. I thought he tore his ACL. No, he fractured his ankle?
Yeah. Lonzo's the knee.
How that hurts. Woof.
But yes, anyway.
Probably headbutted him, didn't you?
Right in the middle of the game, he just ran out there.
My whole leg would have fell off, but
Amputee.
got amputated on the scene.
On the job. Go ahead, Nestor.
Okay, first of all, I like to point out that Jalen let me go through my whole soliloquy talking about the knee and
I didn't realize he said knee until he said it again.
Didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, Shaq is talking about it, and he's like, okay, first of all,
You
you're
said
gonna
it
let Malin
again,
sound
and then it jogged my memory. Go ahead, Nestor.
What type of shoes you wearing again?
Lots of talking about shoe wear. Nestor called someone out for wearing PlayStation shoes last week, so
I
that's
had a
where we're at.
PlayStation shirt.
Nestor wish he could play a PlayStation. He's in Colombia.
I don't.
It's
What
too
are
late. Too
PlayStation
late to make
shoes?
that joke. You guys let me make that comment. A whole week passed by.
What-
Too late.
What exactly are PlayStation shoes?
Yeah,
I don't even understand what that
I
is.
tell you what, right now, if
Paul
Tua
George
had
has
a,
a
if Tua had the chin strap that Nestor has right now going on, he wouldn't have concussions.
But shin strap, do I? No, it's not connecting all the way through.
All the insecurities this man's giving out right now.
Do I? Pull out a mirror now from the wooden closet.
He's gonna go to his girl right after this. I got chin straps.
Same way you called out Ryan or Morgan on about the shirt. So the whole time.
Okay, that was completely accidental. I thought it was a print. It was a shadow.
All looks and PlayStation shoes aside.
That was
Go ahead,
terrible.
Nestor.
I don't think this kid is that impressive. Besides the only stat that actually like stands out to me is that he's right behind Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard in terms of 3-pointers per game.
Oh,
That's like the only stat that
In
sticks
attempts?
out to me.
only behind them.
I mean, it's a
in
great
makes
stat,
or in attempts.
Perennial all
but
stars.
everything else, I mean, he's leading the points for Charlotte. Like that's great.
He's clearly
He
the
missed
best player.
he missed the first 13 games of the season due to an ankle injury. He comes back for like what 2 or 3 games, then he misses another 11 games for another ankle injury. Now he's out again. So this is a concerning pattern that I don't know. The Hornets gonna have to look into, and I hope this isn't like a long-term pattern because I love to see him on a different team.
You
But
just said you don't think he's very
yeah,
good.
I would love to see him as like the third best player on another team. I would love to see him leave a team that's just clearly not going to go anywhere.
He wants
I
him to
love
play-
we're always saying third best.
He wants him to play for
That's-
Dallas. He's like, Luca, Kyrie, and Ball. Now that would be actually pretty funny.
That's what
A Ball brother with Kyrie. That'd be so good.
Very interesting.
God, I want that so bad.
all the toxicity is going to the West.
Yeah. Let's move into the NFL with some news. All right, so we got a spicy one here. This happened last
It's going to be
week.
great.
Russell Wilson, he reportedly
man.
wanted Pete Carroll and John Schneider fired when he was, last in Seattle, and that was why he wanted to be traded. This is apparently what went down. Malin, what do you think about this report?
Well, it's not even that he wanted it to happen. He went to the owner. He went to Jody Allen. What kind of stones? What how many mixtapes are you listening to where people are talking about how you're Mr. Unlimited? Do you need to listen to where you think, hey, you know what I need to do? I need to go to the dead brother's sister and say, hey, Pete Carroll, he's been around since 2010, and John Schneider, we won the Super Bowl and all that. I think you should fire him. Because Mr. Unlimited is going to bring us to the promised land. It's totally believable that he would do it.
I was just going to ask, do you guys believe that?
I believe it 100%.
Yes.
And the reason why I believe it 100% is that Pete Carroll and John Schneider are at the NFL draft right now, and they're not denying that it happened. They're not commenting on it, but if it didn't happen, they would be saying that it didn't happen.
No, yeah.
They would be like, no, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winning quarterback with the team. No, he always did. But they're not saying, they're not denying categorically that it didn't happen.
Pete Carroll said it happened in the nicest way possible. He said basically something like, "I always stand by my players, no matter what, the good or bad." That's like the nicest way to admit it.
Yeah. That's not no.
Yeah, that's not no. It's not yes, but it's not no.
Right.
And so, yes, I do believe that Russell Wilson has the most wrong people in his ear. That what led to him feeling like, you know what? I need to get out of Seattle because Seattle's the problem. I can win someplace else.
Right.
And he apparently had his quarterback coach was a liaison between him and the head coach last year with Hackett. He would speak to him and he would speak to Hackett. I'm like, what? You had an office in the so I hope that Sean Payton kind of whips his ass a little bit and gets him back to the Russell Wilson that he could be, because I don't think he's a terrible quarterback.
No.
I think he can still succeed.
Yeah.
I still think he could be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
Even with the diminished skill set of like maybe the running ability. I still think he can be a top 10, top 12 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he definitely wanted Pete Carroll and John Schneider fired, and I think that's the most asinine thought process to think that you go to Jody Allen and think that that's actually going to work.
Right.
You were
in the KD approach.
way outside of your goddamn mind to think that that was going to happen.
Go ahead, check.
I just feel like he should be the last one talking to anybody about nothing. I just feel like this man, the only reason he's even playing as much is because of the amount of money that they're paying this man at this current point in time. It's like, you going on that field. This man went from clapping cigarette cheeks on Saturday to get his done in on Sunday. It's really,
God.
it's really,
Damn.
I'm just being honest. Just my honest opinion.
Some people like it both ways.
Exactly. It's like, shit, if I could get both ways, man.
Give and take.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Nestor.
Oh yeah, that's
Such a great
I don't know. Just the fact that what Pete Carroll said just solidifies everything for me. So man has a class act.
Like, Nestor, give us something else. What are you doing with your arms right now? What is...
He's overcompensating for the chin strap that you
What
just
is
said.
Exactly. He tried to distract you with his hands. I was like, shit, man.
Got a deck of cars, started doing some tricks.
This man gonna come here cleanly shaven next week.
I just
Like a baby's butt. It's all shaved.
You got the mail to come here and point out
Looking like I'm
insecurities
15.
from week to week.
I mean, at the end of the day, I will say this, that now that Seattle doesn't get a better draft pick if Denver loses or wins, like, I honestly don't care what Russell Wilson does. Like, if he's good or he's bad, I honestly don't care at this point.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be bad last year because I wanted a better draft pick, and we got it. We got number 5 pick in the draft.
Right.
He was god fucking awful. So,
Yes.
but now I don't care what he does.
Yeah. I do also believe that because those last couple of years in Seattle was always something kind of weird in the offseason. Like, you're always hearing kind of something that he wanted out or he wanted some drastic changes made. So it would be par for the course that that was also said. And I don't know. He's just been very much about his brand these past couple of years. So it would just kind of make sense that he would also do something like that. I will say it is really, really nice that you guys had the season that you did this past year because it just went to show maybe you were the problem, Russ, because if you guys came out and were just god awful like everybody was expecting, it's kind of up for discussion, but
I would say maybe he wasn't so much the problem, but he wasn't the answer.
right.
Because they did only have one losing record with Russell Wilson in 10 years. But for them to come back out and be 9-8, it's like, okay, Russ, like how much we were flirting with 10-6, 9-7 for like 5 straight years. We had 1 year where we were 12-4, but there was a lot of 9-7s and 10-6 in there, and we're like, okay, so Geno Smith, who's like nobody, comes in and he performs just as well as you ever have in the offense,
Right.
and so that was really weird. But you know, at the end of the day, like I really feel when it comes to Russell Wilson, he just did not handle success well.
Yeah.
He went from why not us to what about me?
Yep.
And that was his mantra early on, is why not us? Why can't we be great? Why can't we win? To what about me? Trademarking things like let Russ cook.
Stupid.
That Russ
Like,
could.
I mean, coming out with a cookbook,
Really stupid.
chef aprons that said let Russ cook. Like, I mean, that's like corn dog as you can get.
Yeah.
Corn dog, corn ball, I don't give a damn. Whatever it is, that's what he is.
Yeah. That's funny. Like, what about me? That's as appropriate as it gets. Moving on, another quarterback here, Derek Carr. He is reportedly meeting with the Jets, Panthers, and the Saints. Obviously, Vegas got rid of him, and now he's going to be moving on to maybe greener pastures. Maybe. You guys think that he will sign with any one of these three teams, and if so, which one?
I think the best scenario is the Jets for him. I don't know why he's even meeting with the Saints. The Saints are like $55 million over the cap, and he wants a minimum of like $34.5 to $35 million a year. How can they even afford him? I don't know who they're gonna. They need to go ahead and just drop Michael Thomas, because Michael Thomas is going to complain about a toe in training camp, and you're not going to see him the whole year.
I haven't seen him play for several years.
Yeah, it's like the moment that Drew Brees was on his last leg, he was like, "Well, I'm on my last toe," and we ain't seen him since. Carolina, I think the Jets give him. I think the Jets have the youngest talent. They could do well. Now, I might not believe that I think the Jets should have had defensive and offensive rookie of the years. As a Seahawks fan, I can say something about that. We're not going to get into that. But you get Bryce Hall back at running back if he's healthy.
Yep.
That defense, their head coach, I believe in him. He used to be the defensive coordinator of the Niners. I hated when he was the defensive coordinator. Yeah. Before that, he was actually on the Seahawks staff. So, like, I think that would be the best situation for him. But the hiccup comes in. Like, what's going on with Aaron Rodgers? Does he want to play? Like, I think the Jets could potentially do a very Jets thing by screwing themselves out of getting someone like Derek Carr, because they're waiting for someone like Aaron Rodgers and get neither of them.
And miss out.
And then Zach Wilson is QB1 week 1. I believe that's the most New York Jets thing possible. I believe that's going to end up happening because that's what they do.
That is very funny. I didn't even think about that, but that is the most realistic situation. They're banking on Aaron. Aaron's like, no, I'm staying in Green Bay. And by that time, Derek Carr was already signing with Carolina or somebody. And they're like, well, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will sign with the Jets. I just think the Jets are wanting to hear what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. Mm-hmm. Because for some reason, they're linked to possibly being able to get him, which I don't even know what you give up in draft compensation for someone that wants to spend 4 days in the dark. I don't even know. Like, you give him like a first round pick and a bag of fries. Like, I don't know what you do. But I mean, I do think that Derek Carr could do something for the Jets. But at the end of the day, if he goes to the Jets, I think the Jets are the Raiders. I think they're the same type of team.
Yeah.
You're not good enough to win your own division. You're a 50-50 shot of making the wild card. So I don't think it betters his situation for when he was with the Raiders. I mean, how do you go from Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams and find a better situation?
Right. Yeah. That's true.
God, that is
weapons is like,
damn.
Can't really ask for much more.
Wow. Waller too. Renfro.
Yeah.
Jeez, how did that team not go to the playoffs?
Yeah. And he knows Devontae Adams
Josh
too.
McDaniels.
Right.
Son of a bitch. He's the reason why the Raiders did not go to the playoffs. He has to be. Darren Waller, Renfro, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr. I know the man has an eyeliner tattooed on his eyes, and he likes to roll his sleeves up to show muscles that white boys may or may not have, but goddamn, he's still a decent quarterback. It's ridiculous.
Nestor, I'm going to ask you, being in this AFC East, you think Derek Carr is going to the Jets?
Oh, okay.
Watch him go
I hope
to
he
the
does.
Dolphins.
I hope he does, because it'd be nice to see him. His individual accomplishments are great. Like he owns most of the. Like he's been doing great individually for the Raiders. He's the top 10 to 15 quarterback. He's not bad, but Could this be a Stafford situation where, you go to a better team, you do much better, you find success there. So I hope he goes to the Jets. I really do. Even though the Saints are after his ass and the Jets are looking at Aaron Rodgers, like Malin said, which is unfortunate for the Jets. But we'll see. I hope he really does make it to the Jets.
Can I ask one question? Why are the Portland Trailblazers wearing black and teal?
I don't know.
Does that not look like a Phoenix thing that they're doing?
After homeboy dropped 70-something points, they just doing whatever they want.
They wear whatever they want. Black and teal, that's what the Trailblazers are wearing right now? Like, the court is still red and black. I'm sorry. Shaq, Derek Carr, that's just really weird. PDX, that's not Portland at all.
What is PDX?
Portland would be PTL, wouldn't it?
Right.
What the? Okay.
No,
Shaq,
Champions.
I'm done with these anagrams. Come on.
I hope he ends up at Carolina.
Really?
I feel
Wow.
like it'd be the most entertaining shit to watch, to see him on
what?
Panther.
Well, why? I think that's the most boring.
I know.
You
Not
get to
fu-
see eyeliner
not
get
en-
messed up in the New York media or
Not
go
en-
to the Saints.
Not
and-
entertaining for this fact of what he's going to do in Carolina, but entertaining to see what the Jets do with themselves, not getting him.
they're gonna start Jack Wilson.
Exactly.
That's what they're gonna do.
To me, that'd be the most entertaining.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what the Jets are gonna do. The Jets are gonna start Zach Wilson week 1. Bet.
Exactly.
It's happening.
Mike White.
QB1. What?
Mike White.
Mike?
They don't want Mike White in.
Yeah. Well, he ended up being not the Great White Hope. He ended up being terrible too. He's like Zappy.
Yeah.
You let Zappy get a couple stars. Now Zappy was undefeated. He was undefeated.
Well, maybe that division would become less trash. If
I mean, I
Carr
don't
went
know. You think about who's the starting quarterbacks. You got Scissorhands to. You got Mac Jones that
Mac and cheese.
just doesn't. I mean, he just wants to yell at everybody. Zach Wilson. I don't know if.
No, I mean, if it went to the NFC South, if it went to
Oh, the
Carolina
NFC
Panthers.
South. I mean, listen, if he went to the NFC South, his arms would, like the growth in his arms would turn into his stomach with all the gumbo and jambalaya that he eats, because that's what you eat in New Orleans. You eat some Cajun food, and that stuff is delicious.
New Orleans is a place in America, Nestor, just in case you've lost touch.
Yeah, with you little.
Okay.
I thought I was in France, but yeah, keep going.
You would for the Florida leash shit.
Last on the news here, some more quarterback and not quarterback news, but the Commanders did release Carson Wentz, and the Rams also released Bobby Wagner.
And the Falcons released Marcus Mariota.
Oh.
And the Bucks released
Jesus Christ.
Leonard Fournette.
Even more there.
So you got 4 people. Like, people are just dumping salaries.
Were any of these surprising to you guys?
Which 2 did you say first?
Wentz and Bobby Wagner.
Wentz, no.
No.
no,
But Wagner,
not-
a little.
Wait, Bobby Wagner? No, not at all.
You weren't surprised
Because
by that?
no, because they're even more over the cap than what the Saints are.
Gotcha.
And Bobby Wagner he signed with them for the reason to be with a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
So there are some reports out there saying he might come back to the Seahawks. If he does, I would be very, very, very surprised. I think there's 5 teams that are like Super Bowl contenders. You can book it next year. These teams have a good shot at going. That's the Chiefs. You're talking about Cincinnati. You're talking about Buffalo. You're talking about Philly. Oddly enough, I still got to put Dallas in there with the talent that they have. I feel stupid even saying it, but I think just the talent they have
Just
with the
on paper,
defense,
yeah.
just on paper.
Just
Okay?
a couple of weeks ago, this man was wishing the stadium would get nuked.
I do. Well, I want most stadiums to get nuked. I don't know what you want from me. Why don't you go headbutt somebody and take care of it for me? But Bobby Wagner wants to win another Super Bowl. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
So I wasn't very surprised that he was a cap casualty, because he was 5 years, $55 million. He was the Rams could not afford that, being where they are right now. Marcus Mariota surprised me a little bit, because he only counted. They're only saving 12 million against cap. 12 million. Now you can say that's a lot or not, but I do think that Marcus Mariota is a quality veteran. That if you're going to start a second-year quarterback next year, does it really is $12 million
Right.
really that much money in order for you to keep a veteran on the roster that could come in if something were to happen? I mean, God, just look at Tennessee with Malik Willis and Tannehill right now. That's a mess. Derrick Henry's like, do I need to play quarterback too? And the Bucks, every time I hear them say they're releasing somebody else, I just God bless you, Chumpa mother. Blessed heart.
Chickens have come on the roost.
I mean, we are going for 3 wins next year for Tampa. They're done. Stick a fork in them. They're cooked. It's beautiful.
It's gonna be interesting come September. Here.
I love every moment of it. It's amazing. So, yeah.
Check. Any thoughts on these fine folks being released?
Not surprised at all. A lot of teams are trying to make room for this upcoming draft, trades, trying to get their money, making sure they got enough in the bank to get new people and get rid of people who might be just a waste of money for them in space. Especially Tampa. Tampa know they got nothing left, and they just empty out everybody.
Everybody go home.
Everybody go home. We got to restart from scratch.
I mean, how long until Godwin and Evans are shopped?
Yeah. Yep.
And then you got like the defense, like White. When's he going? God, I want them all to leave. I want them all gone. I want them to break up the whole thing.
Any thoughts, Nestor?
I think the Carson Wentz situation is not surprising at all, considering that he's just trash for Washington State. I mean, for the Commanders. I think he's just.
Why you gotta talk about my home state like that?
He's 31st.
Jesus.
In yards per attempt and passing. He's slightly better than Trey Lance last season. So, and Trey Lance died after 2 games. So, so not surprising at all. I just hope the Washington Warriors find somebody so it'll be more interesting. Yeah.
They the Commanders.
They are.
Oh yeah, the Washington Commanders.
Washington
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
Bless.
Washington
FC.
Witchcraft.
I hope does better.
Washington FC. I talked with our friend Morgan Brown the other day.
Oh, did you?
Very.
Oh, is he excited?
He's very hopeful this year. He
Oh,
likes,
yeah.
Has he voted on some new names for the next season?
Probably not.
Who's he excited about?
He likes them having Eric Bieniemy there, of course. He's very hopeful on what's the rookie quarterback's name? The
Stidham?
kid that not Stidham. It's
Sternum.
That's what's getting caved in.
They're very hopeful on this kid that is not Heineken. It's whoever they have behind him.
Not Heineke, huh?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know. I never heard of the kid before, but they got him. They got Eric Bieniemy. He's
I love how
very
he's
hopeful for this
hopeful over
draft.
somebody that we have no idea who the fuck it
Can't
is.
even name. Can't even get.
He's like, I'm glad you're hopeful for that.
He thinks they're gonna draft well.
Really?
Hey.
They're gonna draft well. Okay. Is Bryce Young gonna play this year?
We'll
he playing?
see.
Okay. I'm glad he's hopeful though. He needs to be hopeful because right now he's wasting his life on Destiny.
Yep.
So he
They
needs to be hopeful
They
about
updated the other
something.
day.
They did. They must have had an update.
I
'Cause
think
we
I-
still don't see him on the show.
Now they got the color green in the game.
This man would play Destiny while on the show. That's how disrespectful his ass was. He would be just playing while we were doing the show.
Game never stops. All right.
I mean, it should. That
Should have stopped
that
several
game's
years
dead.
ago. Long time ago.
Destiny. Jesus Christ. What is this, 2018?
Okay. We're going to go to a break. And when we come back in the second half, we will have your favorite G Money. And we'll be back in about 7.5 minutes.
think the stage is going to be too big for Jalen Hurts? I started thinking about this because I remember back in 2018, he was 3 for 8 for 21 yards, got benched in the national title game against Georgia for Tua, and they came back and won 26-23. Then in 2019 against LSU, they got the brakes beat off him 63-28. He was 15-31 for 217 interception. Last week, he was the shaky 15 for 25 for 121. He was overthrowing a lot of people. Even the Devontae Smith catch was wildly overthrown, and it wasn't even caught. So you could take another 38 yards off of the 121. He would have had less than 100 yards passing in that game. He's only had one good game where the moment was big, and that was in the divisional round against the Giants. 16-24, 154, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing. Do you think the stage gets too bright for Jalen Hurts, or do you think he's going to rise to the occasion against the Chiefs?
I'm going to start it off at the point position, put Luka. Then in the shooting guard position, I'm going to go ahead and put Steph. Lebron at that wonderful power forward position. I kind of up in the air pick is going to be Clay at the other forward position. Very iffy pick. And then, of course, I got to put the Joker there at the big man position. He's going to be in a wonderful all-star pick. Clay being that sketchy kind of dark horse role, but I think the team will get it done perfectly.
I got sided with the East, because not only are they better, but Shaq's head sets in the West, so I'm running down the East for you. This is my starting 5 for the East if they were healthy and if there's the East roster. Trae Young at 1. Can't go wrong with that Bulldog. Durant at 2. Hurt now, but if he was healthy, he'd be starting. We're going to go ahead and have Tatum at 3. We're going to have Tatum at 3 because we're putting the Greek Freak at 4. You can't move Giannis. And then we're going to finish it off with Embiid at 5. And the reason why is because he's going to break down the Joker's rashy ass like he did last week in the All-Star game. So that's my 5. Shaq's head is setting in the West. I'll give you his rundown later. You tell us who your starting 5 for the West and East would be.
Did you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
Monday Night Football AFR. We out here. Damn right, Monday Night Football. Go. That shit is bleeding for some odd reason. Hepatitis ass. What the? Where did you fucking call yourself? What? All right, how are we getting out of here?
It's a recap. Tragic. Oh, no. See you calling my phone. Must be that time to talk about what I've been putting off for so long. Think I gotta part ways with you. Took my own advice, girl, I ain't gon' play with you. Know you thought the shit was for eternity. Put a stop to it.
What should Baltimore do with Lamar Jackson? Should they give him the money he wants, fully guaranteed, like a Deshaun Watson deal? Should they try to give him the money that Kyler Murray got? Would he even take it? Do they franchise him? Do they trade him? What do the Baltimore Ravens do with Lamar Jackson? And do you think he will be the starting quarterback in Baltimore at the start of next season?
We're going with Tariq Woolen.
Sauce Gardner was the defensive rookie of the year. Go
God
ahead,
damn.
Shaq.
I was also choosing Sauce Gardner, but
I just gave you after the stats I just gave you. How can you say
who's
Sauce?
the rookie of the
Go
year?
really quick. Same shit.
I'm gonna go with Sauce.
Sauce Gardner is getting the recognition because of his name and his draft status. But if people actually looked at the tape, if they actually looked at the numbers, Tariq Woolen was a better defensive back this year. And this isn't me just being biased. It's just looking at the raw numbers.
How many of those interceptions came in those big games? You know,
Well, every big game is a big game in the NFL, sir. There's 17 of them.
With the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday, will the outcome of this game change your perspective on Patrick Mahomes at all? I don't think so. It doesn't matter win or lose. He still is that, like, there is somebody that's going to be the next Brady as far as hardware goes. It's probably going to be Mahomes, but, I mean, we'll see. Even that is still a bit far out there. But, yeah, if he loses, you know, the Eagles, this is a really talented Eagles squad. It's not like if, you know, the Chiefs were to lose to, like, the Giants or somebody where it's like, all right, that could kind of maybe put a stain on his record. But even if he does have one Super Bowl win in 3 Super Bowl appearances, Eagles are a really, really good team. There's really no shame in a loss in it. But in a win, I mean, hey, 2 wins in 3 appearances, that's still outstanding. So to me, I don't think it changed anything. But will it change something for you, win or lose?
All right, let's see who the who is that person? What is who is that?
And Make-A-Wish kid. Sam is post-heart transplant.
Feel bad now.
You can see. That's why it's psyched up. He's never going to see this guy play.
Remember to follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at AFR Sports. That's it, AFR Sports. Now back to the show with your hosts, Jalen, Shaquille, and Malin.
A young lady bought me this phone case. So.
Young ladies. Yeah, probably 13 like Carl Malone.
Okay. Totally keys.
Welcome
man,
back.
I don't hear anything about young
how's
ladies, man.
everybody doing?
So we have
Back from
music
break.
to drown out the cancerous things we talk about.
There we go.
As he talking about
Back from
young
break.
It's that new Don Toliver.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's enjoying that. With
Yes.
Justin Bieber in future.
Nope.
Just throwing that out there.
How about that?
Anyway, G Money.
The show's great.
Jalen, AFR, how are you guys?
Oh,
We
wonderful.
are ecstatic to have you for
Great.
our 125th episode.
This one's yours.
Okay. Gentlemen,
You just made me spill it.
you can do anything.
We're just wasting tequila over here. That's fine.
Wasting a lot of everything. People's time, tequila.
I mean, listen, at some point, we're going to talk about the fact that you got Hufflepuff on your cell phone.
Why are we worried about me and my personal business?
Oh,
You
now
guys drinking
personal
Don
business
Julio?
is off the limit.
Yes.
Huh?
Let's
We
go.
talked about Nestor's personal life for 2 hours 2 weeks ago.
There's a difference. Nesta left the country for that personal business.
I'm just saying, this Hufflepuff Cedric 11, son of a... Over here. There we go. Shot.
He still caught a body during those games, though. Can we talk about that?
What you guys doing?
G Money, what are you taking a shot of?
we broke
Well, I'm not
Shaq.
taking a shot of anything. I'm
we
sipping
broke
on
Shaq.
some Remy 1738
Yes, he is.
Ooh.
And why is that again?
because the release date
March, actually, it was like March 9th of 2014 was the release date online for Freddie Wap's Trap Queen.
Damn right. Something to celebrate with some cognac.
I'm looking that up.
Is that?
Don't worry, it's true.
That's the problem.
Is that why he was obsessed with 1738 specifically? That was a Remy association.
Yeah, that's why he was obsessed with that.
Right.
That because it was Freddie Wap and the Remy boys.
I just love.
Oh, that's right.
I just love that G Money is the one dropping the knowledge.
Is Fetty Wap
on
big where you're
Fetty
at?
Wap. No,
not big anywhere.
No, he dropped that album. It actually Trap Queen got released online in 2014. The album itself got dropped in 2015, and he was big for like what 6-7 months, something like that, and then that was it, man.
Man, this man just knowledge just.
The Remy boys. That's a throwback.
You got Nestor over there. Just he keeps scratching things. I think he's got.
Yeah, he's trying to scratch a beard off his face after the commie man the first time.
Oh, that's what that shit is on his face. I thought he was going Amish or something.
No, they don't churn butter and ride horse carriages in Colombia. I don't think they do.
You don't know.
I don't know because I've
I
never
mean,
been.
he is
and I
up
have-
in the mountains somewhere.
Look, the only thing Nestor's turn is that fucking dentist chair he be sitting in. So.
Can we please go 1 week mentioning dentists on this show?
Community comments.
But apparently the dentists are really great in Colombia. They are really committed to their craft.
They're actually pretty committed.
They got nice
Actually
teeth
pretty
out there.
You're really committed.
They truly care about their patients.
They do. They love them.
I've done like
They
20
like-
whitenings
they
in like
like
3 weeks.
clothes.
They do love him. Love them. All right. Let's get some community comments.
Actually, talk about sports. This is why the second half is the longest half of the show because we talk about
By far.
Nothing.
So, this week, Malin put out the question what are the Ravens going to do with Lamar Jackson heading into this whole contract controversy? And you guys had a bit to say. If I start with TikTok here. All right, let's start with, I'm not even going to attempt to read your name. Tag and trade, 2 1s and 2 2s. Hasn't finished the season since 2020, and I think that's just a preview. Loved watching him play, but it's over.
If 2
Let me
1s
just-
and 2 2s,
It's interesting.
but then you say, but he hasn't finished the season.
I'm going to just keep running through these.
Okay,
We
I'm
can
sorry.
respond.
He's optimistic.
Mac McGinnis 02, trade him. He's been hurt last 2 years. Richard Yates, get rid of him. James Sperry, I would trade him. Stereotypical Italian franchise and trade.
Jesus.
Jawstrom, get him out of the AFC North, please. LOL, go Browns.
Trust me, y'all still ain't coming close.
Shaq said, "Get in line."
Exactly.
Country 420. I just don't think he's worth all the guaranteed money they already offered them. He gets hurt and he chokes in the playoffs.
Damn.
Sportsman 85. Pat Mahomes is the only quarterback to take up more than 12% of the salary cap to win the Super Bowl in the last 20 to 25 years.
It was actually 13.5%, so that's fine.
There's that. There's a couple on YouTube, and then that'll be that. Just give me 1 second here while I bring those up. And okay. Bruce Metz says, if there's no compromise on the money and guarantee that Lamar wants, I think the best Baltimore can do is a trade. I like Lamar, and Jesus God, this is an essay. This man is the GM of the Ravens.
Wrote a book.
I just saw the preview and then I hit show me more. And
He's invested.
Bruce, I'm
Okay,
not going to
Bruce.
read all of this. I'm sorry.
We love your take though because you put a lot of thought into it.
I'll read
apparently.
before it goes in. I'll read that up to that.
Holy shit!
I think the best Baltimore can do is a trade. I like Lamar and want the best for him, but I want the best for Baltimore too. That is as far as I'll go with Bruce.
And then he went on for another 30 pages.
And then last but not least, Dunk Von Doom. He says, I've been saying we don't need him. He's about himself, not the team. We don't need that energy. He won't win another MVP without us. Trust me, I want him to leave so I can be proven right. Well, when you say all that.
I mean, that's actually kind of surprising to me that everyone is like, trade him.
Yeah.
Trade him.
Like, get
trade
rid of him.
Like, nobody in Baltimore is like, nah, keep arguing into this MVP.
Right.
They're like, nah, be gone with you, bitch. They're like, damn. Now, I will say this, that I get why he wants a fully guaranteed contract because Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed contract. But the Ravens should not be on the hook to have to make a dumbass decision just because the Browns do what the Browns do and made a dumbass decision.
Right.
So I agree with the Ravens playing hardball on this. Now, I'm not going that route, like just get rid of him.
Right.
I'm trying to figure something out before I have to get rid of him. Like, I'm trying to reason with him.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll give you more guaranteed money than Kyler. We're doing this.
Right.
Now, it did come out that somebody in Lamar Jackson's camp today did come out and say that Lamar Jackson never said that he wants a fully guaranteed contract. Now, that's a lie, 100% a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But what that could end up being is Lamar Jackson's camp softening the blow for him maybe taking less
for settling
guaranteed, but I never said that's what I necessarily wanted. Now, we all know that's a lie, but maybe you're seeing a little bit of a softening of the stance. I mean, my God, just reading those comments, and we didn't even read the 30 pages from The Shining that guy wrote to understand that, like, people are fed up with him, and he needs to read the tea leaves and figure out that, listen, like, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't got fan support, you got no support. So, and they're all saying get rid of you.
Right.
And the fact that the Ravens were 10-5 with Harbaugh without him.
Yeah.
And I think they're only 1-6. I think they're 1-6 or 1-5 with him. They got a better winning percentage in the playoffs without Lamar Jackson than with him. That's a problem.
Yeah. It's weird.
Oof.
Yeah. G Money, what do you think about this?
Yeah, if I'm Baltimore, if I exclusively tag him, that means it's if you want to talk to another team, it's going to cost them 2 number ones. God, what's the exclusive tag? I think it's $42 million. That's fully guaranteed, and that hits your salary cap this year. I think I have to agree with the Malin on part where his camp softening on he never said the fully guaranteed. But I'm still thinking he's going to want probably 5 to 6 years at $50 million a year. As far as him being injured, I think this year after he got injured, I think there was a time when he was well enough to play, and he just said, "No, I'm not going to. Nope, still hurt.
Yeah.
Not going to. You see how well you do without me." Now, if Baltimore sticks to whatever, I think their last offer was $133 million guaranteed and like $300 million for 6 years, 7 years. I don't think if they trade him, I'm trying to think of a team that needs a quarterback and be willing to give up the draft capital and has a salary cap to absorb it, because you got to have the salary cap too. I mean, people say, well, New Orleans doesn't have New Orleans is like $55 million over the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're talking Derek Carr to New Orleans. I'm like, not unless they're paying him like 25 cents. It ain't happening unless they cut a lot of people and they trade players. And then what? Derek Carr goes to a team that has nobody. I mean, same with Lamar. I mean, I could see Lamar doing really well in Atlanta. And they've got wide receivers. They've got a good tight end. They've got good running backs. He could, and they've got a young defense, so he could do well there. But when you look elsewhere, I mean, who would trade for him? I mean, I don't think Carolina would. I think they're willing to roll the dice in the draft. Other than that, Houston's going to roll the dice in the draft too. Aside from that, if they weren't going to pay Deshaun Watson, they're not going to pay Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So I think what happens is they tag him. If they can't come to a deal, they'll tag him, and then they'll try and work on a deal for the rest of the season. I mean, they could tag him twice. They could tag him this year. They could tag him next year. Then they can't tag him anymore.
Right.
So in 2 years, he could make anywhere from $70 to $100 million, all guaranteed. Which then you look at the Ravens and you go, shit. You just did the same thing that the Redskins / Commanders did with God. I should know. The quarterback that went to Minnesota is a free agent and got a lot of money guaranteed.
Cousins.
Yeah, because that's what they did. They tagged him 2 years in a row, and he goes, I'll play under the tag, because they couldn't tag him a third year.
Yeah.
And then he signed like an $89 million contract with the Vikings, and a majority of that was guaranteed.
Okay, so I read Bruce's novel, and I would just like to point out a couple things. First of all, when you have a 53-man roster, you don't need 44 quality stars that could command big paychecks on other teams.
There's a little exaggeration.
It's a little bit there. I mean, I get it when he talks about the durability a little bit. I love that he talks about it being a team sport. But you need 44 quality players. And then he mentions, don't forget about the punter and kicker, like they're not part of the 53-man roster. Bruce, come on, Bruce. I love it. I love how you brought in Cleveland with Watson. They're not going to win a championship, not because of Watson, but because they're Cleveland. And then you brought in Arizona. Arizona's not going to win a championship because they're Arizona. But the Ravens are they're a better franchise than those two teams.
Yeah.
And that's why they're not going to put themselves in that type of conundrum. But that is that. All right, Bruce.
Can we give Bruce a little golf clap for the longest comment in AFR history?
Listen, man, that man put in some thought.
Not the most accurate, but the longest.
Put in some thought. That man is passionate about.
He had a lot to say.
The Ravens, and he said it. He said all of it.
It'd be really funny if he was like, I don't even like the Ravens. I'm not even a Ravens fan.
Yeah, if he actually came out, I was like, I don't even give a shit about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I'd be like, why are you committing this much effort into it then? But what about you guys? Like, what do you guys think?
My only thought with that is that I feel like they're going to end up getting stuck with Lamar Jackson purely because no other team are not willing to put out the money to take Lamar Jackson out their hands and be like, let's take Lamar Jackson in hopes that he's going to stay healthy, in hopes that he's going to take it seriously and try to play for us.
You don't think a team would plunge on him?
Oh, they would plunge on him, but the amount of money they got to like put out for Lamar Jackson in hopes that whatever injuries he has.
There's only one team I think would do it. The Raiders.
The Raiders, but that's because they're in the situation. They're in the slumps already.
Las Vegas. Lamar Jackson, Herbert, Wilson, Mahomes in that division. Come on, man. I'm all about it.
Man.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Interesting. I did like when G Money said Atlanta. I think he'd be a great fit there.
He would be good, but Devontae Adams.
I know. I mean, that would be a way better fit.
Get you some wallet, but no, Atlanta would be good too.
I just see him.
He's a better Mariota for damn sure.
Yep. I just see him stuck in Baltimore. That's all I see.
This next year, I do think that they'll just tag him, bring him back in.
Do you think he'll play under the tag though?
Yes, but
because he doesn't have an agent, he's stubborn as shit.
Right.
That's the issue. If he had an agent,
he could figure.
He would have already been signed.
Yeah,
but he can't take the negative that the organization comes back with him on. He can't take it. and they can't talk to his mom. Like he talks about like his mom is his agent.
It's him.
She's not
Right.
because she's not recognized as an NFLPA approved agent, so they can't talk to her. He can get advice from her, but they can only talk to him.
Yeah.
And when you're a player, negotiations are rough. You talk about all the reasons why you should get money. They talk about all the reasons why they shouldn't give you money, and feelings get hurt. A franchise quarterback should never put themselves in that position to have to hear the negative.
Right.
The dumbass for doing that.
Right. Yeah, that is the...
He's got too big of a neck to make a decision like that.
That is the strength of having a third party.
He has a neck that I should have, to be honest with you.
He really should. I'm worried about your spine every time I see you. Your spine's got a lot of pressure.
I'm painting my feet.
I mean, this man's got some small ass shoulders too.
Can't even take a shit in peace over here. I'm about to eat my feet.
Pre-show.
This man got like 3-inch shoulders. What is going on?
3-inch.
He's got an 18-inch head with 3-inch shoulders. What are we doing?
Let's move on.
We need to measure this.
This is
I
why
sure hope you didn't have anything to say about Lamar
He's got a
Jackson.
size 8 shoe.
All right, so I got a size 10 shoe, but let's just go ahead and this is why this show is 4 hours long. All the extra
That's
stuff.
why the days are going quicker, because Shaq keeps falling forward. All right, so
I was wondering why I was staying light out longer.
Show's god awful. I'm happy nobody here on this show is sensitive, because this show
It wouldn't work.
This show would have been everybody's 13th reason, and it would have been an issue.
yeah, we'd never see. We would definitely never see Nestor again. That's for certain.
Ride or die in 5. This is where we give you the best 5 betting picks in sports
for
this coming week.
Oh, we got an interesting development.
Yes.
Relax. Relax. This man.
Now, last week, this would be unfair for me to not recap last week.
Go ahead.
Like we don't
Do it.
recap every week.
Let them know.
Malin and Nestor went 3-2 last
Damn
week.
right we did, Nestor. Woo! Columbia, America. There we go.
Yeah, let's go.
G Money went G Money and I went 2-3.
Somebody went 1-4.
And one person may have gone 1-4.
And what did that lead to? What did that lead to?
That led to a record of 144 and 134.
There
plus
you go.
10.
Yep. And does someone else have 144?
Somebody does.
You're goddamn right they do.
Notice I refuse to put you on the camera for
I
for that time frame.
Somebody is 144 and
You
99.
put me in charge of the cameras, damn well.
Somebody else is 144 and 134. So it's not all about the brains, people, because otherwise Shaq would be undefeated.
Shaq deliberately, while under no influence other than his own, picked some questionable picks last week. So that does not count.
That might have been
That's not influence.
that might have been the third shot that I talked about.
Was that last week?
That was last week. We both took an extra shot right before the Ride or Die in 5. I took one and I just gave him a look, and he took that as like, yep, I need to take one too.
No influence. There was a lot
Like,
of influence.
you look at my head and you're like, what kind of mind control can I have over that head? But it happened.
Gandalf versus
True. You say Sauron?
At this point of this show, I should have about 200 reasons why. I don't know, more than note cards on why I would fucking.
All right, sorry. That's getting off the grade coming out there. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Talking about the Ride or Die in 5.
Yeah.
And how I'm finally tied with Shaq.
Malin is at 144 wins, 99 losses. He is plus 45 now. I am at 160 wins, 124 losses, plus 36. Shaq is 144 and 134.
It's a pretty number, isn't it?
He is plus 10. G Money
10.
3 and 57. He is plus 6. Nestor 39 and 34. He is plus 4. I will say that puts G Money and Nestor in striking distance. Well, mainly G Money. Nestor's right there, but in striking distance
of Shaq.
Of Shaq's plus minus.
Can we not focus on me for like 2 seconds?
Shaq has gone 1-4 2 weeks in a row.
Both due to some questionable picks.
I don't give a damn.
This man is 2 and
Shaq, don't listen to them. Be bold.
This man
Be
is 2 and
bold,
10.
Shaq.
I'm not taking your advice on choices, Nestor.
Yeah, Nestor, you're in the middle of Colombia. No one is taking your life choices. You willingly went to where you're at right now.
I firmly believe in not come back to America purely because you're trapped.
Is that your bed?
By the time I come back,
Is that like a single?
Dolphins are winning Super Bowl.
It's not even a twin bed.
This man gotta sleep like this.
That's
In a
not
coffin.
Hey, listen,
Move your camera and show us your bed.
that man put his bed
It's false.
right
it's
near
fake black leather.
You said it's fuck black leather. Is that what you said? We don't say fuck black anything on this show. That's rude.
I should show the bed and you moved it away from the bed.
This man.
I don't know what you guys are talking about at all. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It is feelings all so long.
This man put his headboard right in front of the window so he has an escape route if he needs it.
Just throw himself over his headboard
He
straight
can
to
get
the
out.
window.
He just break it.
Swing right over it.
It's like, in case of emergency, take Shad's head and break the glass.
Go to the infrastructure of the building in that case.
All right. Can we go ahead with the Ride or Die 5 that we've been ignoring for the past 30 minutes? We can talk about anything else but the
My
subject.
man over here. My man, he's
talking about use my force to
learning
destroy
that.
the infrastructure of a building.
or a whole country.
In Colombia.
He just keeps going.
Exactly. This show is just endless. We talk about everything but sports.
I mean, we want to talk about things that are endless.
All right.
There's point A to B, and they created the James Webb Telescope to try to find it. I ain't found it yet.
Just got off.
Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, we have the Russell Westbrook-led Clippers.
There we go.
Going to
They're going places.
They are going to the Chase Center to face off against the Warriors. Who wants to volunteer to go first on this one?
I'll go.
Go ahead, G Money.
Go ahead, G Money.
So I'm taking Golden State. Golden State last 3 games 3-0. The Clipper-led Westbrook leading the Clippers are 0-3. The 3 wins that Golden State have aren't that impressive. The 3 losses that the Clippers have, well, I mean, aside from Denver, which is leading the West, and they took them to overtime, Sacramento and Minnesota. Minnesota's a dysfunctional team, and you lose to them at home. I'm just not impressed. I'm not, Golden State, I think this is probably the last season you're going to see the big 3 together with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. I think at least one of those will be gone next season, and maybe 2. I just don't think they can continue to pay the luxury tax. And the Clippers, they're the Clippers. I mean, they're like the Pelicans of the West Coast. They get good players, they still suck. They get new owners, they still suck. I mean, maybe if the Clippers and the Lakers kind of combined, they just have one big suck team there in LA.
I mean, I thought the Clippers were the Heat as far as.
You fooled me.
Maybe I was wrong. I'm sorry, Shaq. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Shaq, what is your pick?
My pick, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna pick Golden State to go ahead and win this game. Oh, relax. You think I was gonna pick anyone with me after going 1-4 2 weeks in straight? I'm gonna go ahead and play my safe bet this week. I go 1-4 3 weeks straight.
What happened to Shack Island?
Oh, Shack Island is in the middle of the ocean.
I mean, Shack Continent.
Atlantis at this point in time.
Shack Harbor.
It's like I ain't picking no Westbrook led team to do not a damn thing.
Shack Australia.
Like I said.
Shack China.
Show's toxic.
I am also taking the Warriors. Both teams are in a similar position where they're jockeying for that 5th seed right now. But the home team has won the last 2 of these matchups. Even with Curry out for these past couple of weeks, I'm still going to take the Warriors to win this one. Like G-Money said, they have won 3 out of their last 4. LA has lost 3 straight. I think it's no coincidence that those 3 straight have come right after they brought in Russell Westbrook. He's been making some questionable decision making as their point guard out there.
Is that new?
No, absolutely not. Same stadium, same result.
I mean, at what point in Westbrook's career did his jersey number reflect his contribution to the team? Like, he used to win MVPs and be productive, and I mean, he is the poster child on why Dame is not going anywhere. He really is. Like, Dame went out and said he used him. He was like, "Listen, man, this man went to Houston, then he went to Washington, and then he went to LA, and now he's with the Clippers, and he's always the scapegoat." He was like, "So the grass is not always greener." Goddamn, you have to take. You got to take Golden State on this. Like, if you're really betting money,
right? If you're gonna bet
and
real
you're being
money,
smart, you got to take.
Your pride, apparently.
I mean, if you're betting money, what you're saying is, what you're gonna say is that Westbrook is so bad and toxic for your team that you're gonna take another L, a 4th straight L. And Golden State is going to take another win. And what you're saying is, let's ignore the fact that the Warriors beat, they're 3-0, but they beat Houston, Portland, and Minnesota.
Okay, we're not talking about Minnesota and Portland not being good teams.
We wanted to lose.
Questionable teams. Questionable.
The questionable team is the Clippers.
But I believe.
Keep talking. I sound smart every single time you say something new. So it's.
But I believe Westbrook is so toxic that Golden State Warriors.
No, you were this man over here in Colombia. This guy.
He Nested us again.
He Nested us. Yeah, that is a truly Nestor thing.
Don't trust
to
a man.
give one side of a whole thing and then pick the other side. He does that a lot.
Don't trust a man to get his teeth deep cleaned every week.
Deep clean, deep throated, whatever. Let's go. Number 2.
Check almost.
We gotta go number 2. You gotta hold it together.
Okay.
There you go.
Next game.
We're good.
We have the Memphis Grizzlies going to Denver on Saturday night. G-Money went first last time. Nestor, who do you like in this one?
The last time that these teams played, what teams are we talking about again?
Good question, because I didn't hear it either.
The Grizzlies and the Denver Nuggets.
Denver dominated. Give me Denver. Grizzlies are not that great away. Wait, they're at home actually.
No, Denver's at home. You got it.
Denver's at home. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're not that great away. So give me Denver because they're miles ahead in the West.
Yeah, I gotta agree. With G-Money where, NBA teams are not performing well on the road, and Rashy Ass is averaging a triple-double almost. He's going to be a runaway MVP favorite.
Every time Rush, got
That's what he is, man. He sweats and he turns red. Like I don't like. He's a color changing something.
You get sweat rash.
Yeah, sure. If that's what it is, I don't know. Might be the hurt. Who knows? But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take Denver on this one.
I'm also gonna agree. The home team has won the last 2 of these matchups, so that continues to happen by default. I'm gonna take the Denver Nuggets. Shaq.
I'm also taking the Denver Nuggets. Fuck it, all y'all.
Okay.
You guys gonna think differently.
Okay. We made our bed. Now we gotta land.
Yeah,
G money.
This man is like Malin is not passing.
You're gonna stay even the rest of the way out.
The same as you the rest of the way out. Cannot lose.
Well, damn.
You're coming up first.
Yeah, I'm
soon.
going with Denver too.
I'm gonna look at his man's facial expression as I make my pick.
All right, so you're taking Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good consensus.
All right. Next game, we have the Sixers going to Milwaukee Saturday night. Is it me or does it seem like every time the Bucks have these big games, they're always at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like that's been the case. But I'll go first here real quick. Milwaukee, hottest team in the NBA right now with 15 wins in a row. We'll see over these next couple of days if that sticks, but probably will. I think they're going to keep that hot trend going, and they will win at home. Malin, I'll go to you next.
I gotta go Philly on this. I think don't breathe into the mic with that damn wind turbine. I think that Philly has been the best team since January. And that's saying something because we're Boston fans,
right?
But I feel like they've won a lot of big games, and Embiid comes up big. I mean, damn, we were half a second away from losing to them.
Thank God.
I mean, just damn.
By the way, y'all saw that shot that Tatum hit, right?
Bam, money. And ain't no
Step
one
back.
talking about him being MVP.
Yeah, let's throw that out there.
But no, I got to take Philly. I got to take Philly in this one. I think that Joel Embiid is on a mission to win an MVP, even if he doesn't end up getting it.
Yeah.
He's playing healthy. He might not stay healthy because his back will give him problems. And Harden has been playing well or better. So I do think that Philly's the more talented team. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Philly on this one.
Shaq.
With no coincidence or nothing, I'm gonna go ahead.
Really?
I'm going to take Philly.
With no coincidence at all.
None. I'm just saying. I just happen to pick Embiid also to pick MVP this season.
Man
So,
over here.
in order for him to do that, I say he picks off another MVP candidate.
Kind of felt like Shaq and Ryder dying together.
He's coming up for his next pick.
Don't you worry about that. Just worry about that. I'm picking Philly to win this next one. That's all I'm saying.
He does not want me to pass him.
I'll give a good. I'll do anything. My pride is on the line.
Another sock situation. G Money.
No, I ain't that.
Go with Milwaukee. They do play well at home. They play very well at home. And I don't know what it is with Philly. They can't seem to really beat the good teams. I mean, you saw that. You've seen that. You've seen that when they played Boston. You've seen that when they played. They played Milwaukee once before. And it's like they just. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they just get intimidated, but they just can't seem to do it.
Shaq can do it. Go ahead, Nestor.
Yeah. Right after they almost beat Boston, they went ahead and lost to Miami. So I think they're heavily unreliable.
Who we talking about?
This man digging us in a hole. I need you to relax about Miami.
Which team are we talking about again?
The Philly lost to Miami on Monday. I think.
Right. Philly took a night off, and they're like, "All right, go ahead."
So I think they're
almost forgot that
unreliable.
They played because they were playing Miami.
Give me
Right.
That's like a bye week.
You would think. And then
But then they
tonight they
lost.
came through and just beat them into oblivion. So
Yeah. Interesting.
once they cared.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a career thing. I just think they're unreliable. So give me Milwaukee, the more reliable team, the better defense. So
I love the Boston.
You just can't help it.
You can't. When you're on top, you're on top. That's fine.
Now you guys are losing to Denver.
Unless you're
What?
in the finals.
Denver's not making the finals. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, they're not. Sorry.
What is this man even saying? Denver going to the finals?
So that was the only one we differed on so far, with Shaq and Malin both agreeing on Philly, the rest of us agreeing on Milwaukee.
This
Putting that out there.
I tried to go off script one time to get one up on him. He was like, "Nah, bitch, I'm staying with you."
Okay. Here we go.
He's gonna forehead check block my ass.
Destroy this whole side of the building.
Speaking of infrastructure. Now, Sunday at 1:00, KD going up against his old teammate in the Dallas Mavericks.
Don't
Kyrie
don't
Irving.
have Shaq go first on this one.
You don't. You want to go first on the Atlanta and Miami game?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go first on this one. this motherfucker. I will happily go first on this one. Then.
Y'all ain't shit. Maybe be the first to tell y'all that.
You got the first, not the last.
I will take Phoenix on the road. These two teams are very familiar with each other. They played each other, I think, 3 times this year. This was the Western Conference Finals last year. So they know each other very well. But Kyrie and Luka, not a very good fit so far.
Shit, 1 of 4.
Right. Time will only tell, but so far it's not looking too hot.
Why is Kyrie taking the last shot?
Right.
What kind of?
I feel like everybody takes that one final shot that he hit to beat Golden State, and they're like, he's the greatest clutch shooter ever.
If I'm Luka, like I'm smacking you with something, and it's not appropriate what I'm smacking you with, Jason Kidd, but I'm smacking you with something.
You know it's bad if he says
you get slapped in the cheek with something.
Use your imagination.
Rhymes with Mick.
Yeah. Also rhymes with alls.
I am taking the Suns.
We are a family-friendly show.
We're not family-friendly.
No, we're not fucking family.
Malin had to lift up and Frank an hour ago. There's a reason why he
Yeah. We dealt with Anne Frank last week. Jalen's still wearing Yeezy shoes. We don't give a shit about families. We'll barbecue your kids.
We love Anne Frank.
What we do.
Moving on.
The Oven Warrior to the okay.
KD had a nice little warm up against Charlotte tonight.
Yeah, I'm taking Phoenix. Dude.
Okay.
I'm taking Phoenix.
I think they'll handle the business.
Luka and Kyrie are not working right now.
Yeah.
There's the battle between who should have the ball last. There's the chemistry isn't working the way it should be.
Yeah, I think the Durant-Phoenix chemistry, they won tonight. He scored 24 points.
Which is all they need. They don't need him to be the savior right now.
They'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what team Phoenix lost to recently? Well, not recently. The past like
Was it
15
the
days.
Heat?
2 years ago.
The Clippers.
Oh,
This man's about to dig us deeper in the hole.
Clippers.
Stop bringing up our team when it doesn't matter.
The Clippers.
You know what the
that
record
have
is
to
away? You know what their
do?
record is away? Phoenix is away record. They're
Phoenix
horrible.
away.
A horrible way.
Most of them
but you just can't trust Luca and Kevin Durant
why
together.
does he
So
still
give me
do this? Why is he still giving us all the reasons not to pick the team, then pick the team?
give me
He's
Phoenix.
taking Phoenix. What is
Mister,
man
if
is
you
just
were a
run
girl,
amok over there in Columbia.
I'm giving the viewers a different perspective.
On what?
On what money they.
I mean,
if Nestor was
They
a
would've
girl,
lost.
do you know how many men he'd lead astray?
if Nestor was a girl, we'd be like, listen, like you're on your period.
Why are we having this conversation?
You brought this conversation upon yourself.
That's 2 weeks ago we brought up a period.
like Nestor has a split personality disorder. He's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like Jekyll talks for a while, then Hyde's like, "Nah, bitch, we're not doing
He's
the
the same
stupid pick.
person traveling back
We're
to
doing
the
the
country
safe pick."
for a 30-minute meeting. So
What he does. All right, G Money.
G Money.
Who you got?
Well, Nestor's right. I mean, Phoenix is their record on the road is 13-19. That's pretty crappy. But they're going up against freaking Kyrie Irving. I mean, I don't think they figured out how him and Doncic can actually coexist. And Durant hit the floor running today. He did, and they've got everybody back. As much as it pains me to say this, I don't see Dallas winning this game. Unlike I saw them beating the Lakers, and then they blew that lead.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remind us of that.
God bless us. That was fun. Jesus. I'm still having a trouble figuring out why Portland's wearing turquoise.
Give me Phoenix.
Shaq.
Go ahead and give me KD and the Desert Warriors. I feel like they
Warriors.
Desert Warriors.
God.
Arizona version of Golden State.
That needs to stick. That is actually creative. I'm giving you props for that. That man, that is why he has the head that he has.
I don't come up with a lot of great ideas, but the few that I do come up with,
damn
stick.
right.
You can't buy that type of creativity.
That is
Exactly. You can only
that is
You can only
that
inherit
is
it.
a think tank.
I was trying to.
That is.
You should patent that.
No.
Copyright.
Desert
Copyright that.
The
Yeah.
think tank
Phoenix
or the
Suns,
Phoenix Warriors?
Desert Warriors.
No, he said Warriors.
Oh.
Okay.
Warriors, not Warriors.
Let's get to the game we all came here for.
Okay.
Monday night.
That's what you said, right?
No, that's.
Oh.
But we'll go with Warriors. Warriors.
But I thought he said Warriors.
But this is not the game
Didn't
that we
he?
came for. Why is this the game that we came for? Because I'm picking first? Is that why it's the game?
Yes, you are.
We're not gonna say that, but Monday night we got
Didn't
two.
he not say Warriors? He said Warriors, huh? I said Warriors. Okay. My bad, Shaq.
We have two Eastern Conference teams jockeying for a seed in the East.
Yep,
The Atlanta Hawks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Miami Heat.
Woo!
Both equally as bad. Both in the same position right now, I will say. But Shaq, who are you taking?
Look at the intensity. It was just
Monday
quiet. It's not a peep. The first time in the show, you can hear a pin drop in the other room.
This is the one game I did not prematurely pick. I'll just say that.
Me neither, actually.
Probably hear one of them birds fart from outside that's been flying off the fucking.
Goddamn indigenous people.
They're probably pulling up again outside. I'm not.
I
Gonna,
can't say it.
I'm not gonna pick my Heat. I'm sorry. I would love to pick my own team, but if there's anybody who's consistently bad,
would it help you to know?
No. Don't care what you're about
Would
to
it
say.
help to know what?
They're on a 4-game home stand against Philly, somebody else, and then they play the Hawks twice. This is the second of their back-to-back. They play them twice at home. So you think that Atlanta will beat them?
I don't like what you're doing. I don't appreciate it.
I just want to make sure. I mean, Atlanta don't even got their head coach.
Right. They got I don't even know who's standing
Elmo
right now.
Elmo, god damn.
I don't appreciate what you're trying to do, but I'm not going to think about this man because he probably picked the other team and he's trying to convince me otherwise.
I didn't pick anybody, but was I leaning one way? Maybe.
Yes, exactly. He tried to, man. He's slick. I'm not choose my. It's slick. This cranium is built for other things. Okay, I can think.
Yeah, built for a lot, not built for them shoulders though. Nestor, who you got?
That's just like, what are we talking about?
Nestor, go ahead and be ignorant. Pick the Heat for the rest of us.
This is your team, Nestor.
It's my team too. I ain't picking them.
Your co-host here did not pick his own team.
All right, stop trying to make me feel guilty.
I'm just giving him facts.
I mean, I always pick Celtics and Seahawks.
Because they're good.
Thank you.
Because they're good.
Sometimes they're men
Your
of
team-
stature.
Did your team not go to the Eastern Conference Finals last year? To a game 7?
Jimmy Butler missed 3 away from going to the finals.
Can we relax? Stop making. y'all still call my fantasy football win a bubble win. So let's not.
It was. Oh, yeah,
exactly. So
win.
let's not pretend like y'all pick and choose what's okay.
Cute people
Not
coming
even
in.
a bubble, but it's a bubble win.
Exactly. I'm sorry that somebody died on the field and made my pick. My thing irrelevant.
God.
I didn't stop his heart.
All right,
Yeah,
next-
Shaq. That's
next
messed
who's
up.
winning? You might have held your breath or something. Nestor, who you got?
I don't know. This is difficult. Man, give me the Heat.
Give him the Heat. You see, that's
The
a Miami
Heat,
fan.
that's a fan.
That's a Miami
And he's still not gonna pick. He's still not gonna pick them.
Fan. Wait, you're right. You probably not. Was that you tricking us again, Nestor?
I'm sorry I took less time
No,
to choose.
I
come to the same
literally
conclusion.
said give me the. I don't say give me such team before I lay out the stats.
You
so
say give
just-
you a
just
lot
give
of
me-
things.
give me-
like
I
mental
said give me
assistance
the
and stuff.
What you need to do is give you a plane ticket back to where you can.
Yeah,
back
that's
here.
what, you need to come back home. Nestor. You need to come back home if you can never come back.
That's just gonna have a long summer.
You really gonna be gone for the whole summer?
Oh yeah.
Gonna
We
be a
ain't
good
never
summer.
seen his ass again.
Yeah.
Like one day, like in
See that.
4 weeks, we're just never gonna hear from him again.
That's it.
Dentist.
What is your pick?
A lot of teeth whitening. What?
He'll have good
What's
teeth.
my pick?
But he won't be here.
No, but
Gonna have-
titties
he's
on his
gonna have
shoulder.
He's gonna have best teeth out of anybody.
What is titties in Spanish, Nestor? I want to make sure it doesn't translate well.
This man's gonna come back home with no teeth because he'll be like, I need them all pulled.
G money.
Just Nestor and all gone.
What did Nestor pick? I didn't.
He did take his own team.
He took
he's,
his own team.
He's
He
a
took
man
the
of
Heat.
stature, honesty.
He's also a man whose record is not in jeopardy because he's.
So your record's not in jeopardy.
Okay.
You're plus 10.
It's not. That's not. The plus 10 is not what I'm worried about.
Is this the Saturday game or the Monday game we're looking at?
Monday night, baby. Nowhere else to be.
Is there a stat versus Saturday and Monday night games? Monday.
No, it's the second one.
Yeah, this is the second one on Monday.
Woo.
Keep in mind, Miami just got the brakes beat off of him tonight. So
Well,
that
I hope
might-
they get the
that
breaks beat
might-
off them again, just for my records.
I'm just
More of a
mad.
reason why they will win against Atlanta.
If you won't relax, it turns over. G Money.
G Money, I'll go fast real quick here. Give me the Miami Heat at home, baby. At home, they're gonna hold it down at the.
See, I just looked at the game, but I didn't look at that they were doing basically a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Because initially I'd taken Miami because I still think Atlanta's in disarray. You know, they fired their coach. Trey Young may be the next person. They can't trade him right now, but they could bench his ass.
Who's Spencer Trey Young?
I don't know. G Money.
Oh, give me Miami.
Against the West.
Y'all ain't shit.
All right,
I feel
listen. Telling you right now, I'm going Miami. I'm
Y'all
going
have-
Miami.
and the
Because
history.
either I'm going to be +1 or I'm going to be -1. But unlike the size of your head, I got balls.
In the
And I am a man of my convictions.
That looks so betrayed.
In the history of this show, y'all have never picked Miami.
Y'all some
No, yeah, the history of this show, y'all never picked.
We've never picked Miami.
But when it hurts me the most, y'all gonna pick Miami to win this fucking game.
All day, Heat, baby. Butler gonna ball out.
You guys play the Knicks tomorrow. At home, of course. Who cares? You guys play and then Saturday night, Hawks. You'll lose that one.
I hope
the next night,
You're
Monday,
gonna win that one. Bam.
I hope Youngblood shits in his shoe nonstop all night tonight.
Nobody's shitting in my shoes tonight.
Yeah, he's right now in that shoe.
Yeah. Hey, I already spoke to these. Khalif is gonna
17 times.
Khalif's gonna
1738. He already spoke.
Khalif's gonna be shitting in me.
We don't need to have these numbers magically match up all of a sudden.
Magically, this man already spoke Fetty Wap in existence. 17.
Right.
Here's some magical numbers.
Jalen gonna be like, who put Play-Doh on my shoe?
117 to 98 on Monday night. That's it.
Damn.
It's in this show. It's in this show. I don't know if you guys.
I mean, the Dream
picked
Team
all that
didn't
up,
whoop up on anybody like that, and they played like Angola.
Okay. So everybody's taking Miami outside of Shaq. And on Saturday, Malin and Shaq are taking Philly. The rest of us are taking Milwaukee. Everything else we all agree on.
I don't care about that. It's just the fact that y'all so petty against me with doing anything productive that y'all gonna take, man.
You're crying right now.
Yes.
This is the one time where you're gonna be rooting for your team to lose. It's like, no, miss the goddamn shot. Pass the ball, throw it out of bounds.
Fuck you, Butler.
Throw it out of
God damn it.
bounds. Kick it into the stands.
Wait, Philly and Milwaukee. What are the picks? Who's
Philly, Milwaukee, Malin and Shaq, Philly, you, me, G Money, or Bucks.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so Shaq and I are alike on every one.
Right,
last pick.
except that one.
So I'm either going to be down one or plus one.
There you go.
You'll be plus a lot regardless. No, Shaq.
Good thing is I'm still plus 10, so even if I lose to this motherfucker over here, I'm still
I mean, all of a sudden he's just throwing out names. That's just me.
This man, you almost tore his asshole trying to prove a point.
Yeah, I did kind of.
There's a hole underneath that seat right now.
The fact that he took a pause, you took a pause mid sentence. We're like, and I heard it through my headphones, causing the problem.
Okay. I want to thank you all for watching. It's been an incredible week. We covered a lot of topics here.
This is why we don't drink tequila.
Hey, this is exactly why. Well, Shaq brought over this devil juice, and now here we are.
This man almost shit himself.
Talking.
All right. We'll see you
Been
guys
real,
next week.
folks. We got 126 coming up next week. Thank you all for watching. Peace.